Let me just say thanks to the Dallas Regional Chamber for inviting me, and this is an opportunity to discuss the state of our state. And before we get started, I'd like to take a quick word about something I think all of us are watching very closely, the rescue effort down in Chile. And like many of you, I've been watching these amazing stories now for months, it seems. And as yesterday and last night and this morning, as one by one these just absolutely blessed rescued miners are being brought up out of the ground in the open air. And it shouldn't surprise anyone, but still just a little bit. It was a Texan who was driving that drill bit that went into the ground. It was a Texas company, a fellow by the name of Greg Hall. He owns Driller Supply International down in Houston, and I might add the class of 1982 from the beloved Texas A&M. So anyway, I do commend him and his crew. They did a fabulous job. And again, another Texas company, Tom, that is making a difference around the world, and which is a good segue into the dedication and the passion of Texans, the kind that is demonstrated by Mr. Hall, or another reason that Texas has what it takes. And in a word, the state of Texas is strong. Look, we have our challenges. I stand before you as the governor of this great state, and I pronounce that we're not immune to the global economic crisis, but we are much better off than most states, thanks to our people, our businesses, and our state's sound tax, regulatory, and legal and education policies, I might add, that these members of the legislature that are here today with us have worked so diligently to put into place. And I'm confident that the right leadership and focus will keep Texas moving out of this recession and maintain our status as the best job-creating state in the nation. In fact, after leading the nation in job creation during the last decade, with more than 850,000 jobs created, Texas has added more jobs this year than any other state in the nation. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal, especially to those folks who started the year out without a job, and today they are employed and drawing a paycheck. Texas is strong because we're willing to tackle tough challenges. We don't mind hard work. We set clear priorities, and fiscal discipline is put into play. Frankly, that's the four principles that we boil it down to. Number one, we don't spend all the money. We've left that money in the rainy day fund. And these members of the legislature wisely looked over the horizon and realized that there were some storm clouds out there. But leaving that money available in that rainy day fund was very important. Next, we keep the regulations predictable so that employers know that from day to day, from month to month, and for that matter from year to year, there will be predictability in that regulatory climate. And thirdly, we reformed our legal system to cut down on the junk lawsuits. Employers now spend less time in a courtroom, more time creating jobs. Doctors spend more time in their examination rooms, less time at the courtroom. And fourthly, we're making our schools more accountable. And the workforce of tomorrow is better educated. Representative Branch has that oversight directly in his committee, and our workforce is so much better prepared for the jobs of tomorrow. And the fact of the matter is, it's those four simple principles that we put in place that have imparted the stability to our economy. And it's encouraged entrepreneurs all across the country to look at Texas, and they're part of what has kept our unemployment rate low, and I think we're a good full point below the national average. We've also made strategic investments in programs that rev the economic engine of our state, like the Texas Enterprise Fund and the Emerging Technology Fund. These programs send a clear message to employers that their biggest challenge in Texas will be outdoing their market competitors, not fending off a government that wants to take them out at the knees. Washington pretty much has that part covered anyway, so. You know, since the Enterprise Fund was created in 2003, it has helped secure more than 54,100 new Texas jobs and $14.5 billion in capital investment. And that's money, Mr. Ambassador, that could have gone somewhere else. I mean, those are jobs that could have gone somewhere else. The Emerging Technology Fund. It was created to strengthen our state's high-tech economy by supporting those promising initiatives during a very critical stage of their development between earliest innovation and market viability. Since its creation in 2005, ETF has invested $161 million in research grants to Texas universities and more than $177 million in more than 120 early-stage companies. It's my honor today to point a couple of those companies out and announcing the three latest recipients of ETF investment from our state. First, I'd like for you to meet Kathy McEwen. Kathy, if you would stand up there just a moment. She's the CEO of Iridescent Networks, a company that's based right here in Dallas, whose proprietary technology is improving the way that video is delivered to handheld devices. And I'm proud to announce that the Emerging Technology Fund is investing $250,000 in her company. Congratulations, Kathy. Next, it's my honor to introduce Sean Brown. Sean is CEO of Neuro Resource Group. That's another Dallas company. They manufacture a pain management system device that offers hope to more than 76 million Americans who suffer from chronic pain. The Emerging Technology Fund is investing $1.5 million in this promising company for its non-invasive device. Congratulations, Sean. Now, finally, please join me in congratulating Data Infocom out of Round Rock, their CEO, Atunu. Thank you for being here with us. Atunu Basu. Their news is that the Emerging Technology Fund is investing $1.6 million in their company. It's a groundbreaking predictive decision management software. So congratulations to you, Atunu. So congratulations to those recipients and winners, and certainly good luck to you all as you go forward in the months to go. You know, the ETF announcements, investments like these that I've just announced, don't just make companies. It's not just about wealth creation. That's important. But it's also about changing lives. about really making a difference. Right now, ETF companies are commercializing cures for heart disease and cancer, technology to make energy cheaper and cleaner. These two funds that your colleagues had the great wisdom to create, put into place, is keeping Texas on the right track and reaping the benefits of policy decisions that have been made through the years and keeping Texas job-friendly and fiscally disciplined. And now, the coming legislative session, I don't think anybody thinks it's necessarily going to be easy, but I'll guarantee you, these members of the legislature that are here with us today, you've been probably through as many as anyone that are here. They'll tell you that not any legislative session is easy. It's you remember back in 2003, and we had confronted with a $10 billion budget shortfall, and rather than jack up taxes, and we took the same approach that you take around your dinner table, same approach that you take in your small business. We drew a line between wants and needs, and then we cut spending. We'll take that same approach again as we balance the budget, focusing on our essential priorities. And those priorities include accountable public schools that maximize opportunity for young Texans, preparing them for the challenges of this high-tech global economy that they're going to be stepping into. We're going to place very high priority on those STEM subjects of science and technology and engineering and mathematics. Those are the building blocks of our high-tech success. You know, the 51 STEM academies that we have in place today, and they're catering to students that are considered to be at risk, and they have been remarkably successful. So I've proposed doubling the number of our STEM academies and increasing our emphasis on the You Teach program, Lee. I mean, that's one of the, making sure that we have the best of the best that are teaching our children is very important. And so as we ramp up our high-tech education, we shouldn't not forget those students who, for whatever reason, kids who drop out. Sometimes they hit 16 years old and they go buy a new pickup truck and think they're going to go conquer the world, and away they go and drop out of school, and a year later they figure out they made one of the biggest mistakes in their life. And I think we need to be giving them some incentives and some options to be able to get back and be that productive person that they can be. And I'm going to propose some tough laws that require any student under 18 years of age to stay in school or work at a virtual school or be working towards their GED. If you're 18 and you're not in those two categories, you're not going to get a driver's license in Texas. We need to make it harder for them to quit, but we also need to make it easier for dropouts to get back in and get that done. And that's the reason we talk about these virtual high schools, Dan, and creating a way so, for whatever reason, and we're not judging these young kids about, why, or giving them the opportunities to get back to better their life, and they may have a family to take care of, but a virtual school so they can get into some places that have access to the internet, and give a incentive to you employers, so that if you have young people who are in your school who's dropped out, a tax incentive for you, $1,500 a year for your sales tax, to give that type of incentive to you to allow that young man or woman the opportunity to get back into a school or get into one of these virtuals. When they get their GED or their diploma, there comes your tax rebate. That's the type of incentive on both sides that I think certainly will work.